Are you ready?
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, Tool to Play presents Still Got Game with Derek D. Smooth Nolan and Joel Dude I Rock Albert.
This episode of Still Got Game is brought to you by GoDaddy. Hey now, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to Still Got Game, episode 291. Still Got Game is the official podcast of ToolToPlay.com. I am, as always, Derek D. Smooth Nolan.
And I am Joel Dude I Rock Albert.
What is going on, Joel Dude I Rock Albert, my friend?
Not much. Took a little siesta last week. We're back.
Yes, we are back for
Rocking it.
We're back for a week, but we're taking a siesta next week. I'm going to be away in Disney next week, so there will be no show next week. So we've kind of got on this unfortunate schedule of every other week, but following that return from Disney, we'll be back on our every week schedule. I promise.
Oh,
I hope.
we're promising?
We're promising, hopefully. We're hopefully promising, making a half-ass semi-promise, because who's going to hold us to it, right? It's a free show.
Exactly. Yeah.
All right. Well, I guess we'll just hop right in the show proper, and we'll start off with feedback from last week's show. Remember, if you want to leave us a voicemail, it will cut you off after a minute. Kieran Orion comments, and these first two comments are in relation to a question we had last show with if you were racing overseas in a racing game, if you drive on the other side of the road. So Kieran Orion comments, I don't think that racing games are localized to the extent that they reverse the lane you drive on depending on your location. Having said that, the last driving game I played was Forza 1 on the 360. And that is followed up by the brilliant and often racing guy, Sarcasmo Jones. And he says, all racing games are the same, and you drive on whatever side of the road is appropriate for the location that the track of the game is set, not where the game is played. Left side on British and Japanese streets, right side everywhere else. And I guess that makes sense. For realism, you wouldn't want to go race some British course and be driving on the right side of the road because that would be weird. It just wouldn't make sense. So I guess if we had thought about that, or if you and I had played any sort of racing game other than the novelty non-racing games in like the last 5 years, we would have probably known that. But
I still find it interesting that they stick to that mode because that's got to be hard to just get used to even as the driver. I mean, it'd be weird for me to be on the other side of the road 1 minute and then the next minute I play a different map, but I'm on the other side of the road.
But you got to figure if you were a pro, and I use that term very loosely, pro driver in these races, and you you went over to Britain to ride a race, you would have to drive on that side of the road. You wouldn't have a choice. You couldn't just be like, I'm driving on the right, guys, whatever.
Don't they basically get the whole road anyway in those racing games? Like, essentially, there's not oncoming cars when you're playing in Forza, are there?
I would hope.
I mean, is there like traffic?
Yeah, I guess, it doesn't make any sense unless you're on one of those like races where
feels weird.
Like one of the what's the racing series where there's actually cars driving around, Need for Speed, like those type of games. I guess that's the only time you would see other pedestrian traffic or civilian traffic on the roads. But so thank you guys for clearing that up. You did our work for us. That was one less thing we had to answer, and two people answered for us with conflicting reports. But I think since Sarcasmo is the guy that races every single night, I will take his word for it.
Yeah, I'll go with that too.
All right, Loin Puncher. Loin Puncher.
Loin Puncher's great.
Yes. Loin Puncher comments. New viewer, love the format. Consider me a fan. Short but sweet, and
So the way I like it.
Yeah, grammatically correct. Unlike some other short but sweet comments we've had in the past. This is
me likey show you good. High five me happies.
Yes, these are all fully valid sentences, despite the actually, new viewer is not. That's missing a verb, but at least we understood it. It wasn't like completely off the wall, like translated 10 times through Google Translate and then finally given to us in English. So that is, we're glad to have you, Loin Puncher, and go punch those loins, bro.
Yeah, punch them loins.
I'm assuming you're a bro. Maybe you're
If
a
not
girl
bro,
that punches.
then you are a badass chick.
I'm punching loins
all day long.
And then the last but not least, and I'm assuming that this is a female, Rebecca comments. I absolutely hate it when you guys take a week off. Please don't ever do that again. Heart.
I hate it too. Yeah. Mostly because by the time we come back, I'm in this weird position where it feels like we haven't done it in months, even though it's only been a week.
Yeah.
So I feel a little rusty when we come back like this.
I do too.
But it's like, 2 minutes in, and then you're like, oh yeah, that's me.
Yeah, it's old hat. It's like riding a bike.
Yeah.
But we're sorry we let you down, Rebecca, and we'll talk a little soft for you here. Yeah, there you go. We didn't want to leave you hanging.
They'll be around next week.
Yeah.
Oh no, we're not.
No. You fucked up already.
No promises.
No. Rebecca, we're your every 2-week guys.
Yeah, exactly.
So, but thank you all for the comments. That was excellent. If any of you have feedback, you can either give us a call, 773-527-2961, or email us at podcast@tooltoplay.com. And in site-related news, before we get into the other stuff here, I'm going to jump right out of the gate with a little bit of Tool to Play staff news. And this is the first anyone's hearing of this besides the people involved. So for the last 3 years or so, my wife, Tiffany Electrify Nolan, who was not my wife at the time she started the job, obviously, has been the editor-in-chief of Tool to Play. And due to all kinds of time constraints and work and everything else, she will be stepping down as editor-in-chief. And she will be moving on to a new position in Tool to Play as our community and events manager. So that is the first change of guard, and that's a position we've been lacking since we've had a couple people in the community manager position. We've had someone do events for us in the past. Never the twain met, but I think that Tiff will do a great job in that role.
Absolutely, yeah.
Yes. Which obviously leaves a gap at editor-in-chief. So what we did is we went to the finest of the fine, the best of the best, and a senior member of Tiff's staff on the Tool to Play editorial staff. And this is the first time we're announcing that Sarcasmo Jones, Rod Weimer, is moving up as the Tool to Play editor-in-chief. So congratulations, Rod, and we're glad that you accepted the offer of this position. I know the salary negotiation was tough, but
it was tough. It was tough to get through. I mean, he wanted $1, and we said, "How about none?" And it was rough for a while. But he actually finally caved and said, okay, I have nothing better to do with my time.
Yes.
But no, if you've ever read any of his stuff, he's probably the best writer that we've got on Tool to Play, has been for a while. And he's really just good at finding the type of content that other people want to read that people don't usually write about in other places. So it's always been an awesome fit for us. His humor is exactly the type of humor that we love. And we hope that you guys love too. And hopefully you guys will see some more stuff in the future.
Yep.
So yeah.
Congratulations to both of them on their new positions, and this strengthens. I think overall this ends up strengthening the Tool to Play staff, immeasurably. Yeah. And for what Rod has in store for the Tool to Play writing team, I don't know. Now that he's got the helm, this is his baby. He can bring on some new staff. He can change things up a little bit. Whatever he wants to do, it's his ship to either sail off in the sunset or crash.
Yep.
So Tiff is indemnified. I'm indemnified. You're indemnified.
It's fine by me.
Yes.
I like watching things crash and burn just as much as I like watching them succeed. So bring it on.
Yes. So we also got a little something else, Jay.
Yeah. So if you guys have been paying attention, there's a game called Destiny that got released. I don't know. People might be playing it. And I was bored last week and noticed how a lot of people weren't able to find groups and things like that. It's not as bad on Tool to Play, a site like ours, because it's all a bunch of people that, meet and talk and hang out in the forums and whatnot, and roughly have known each other, some for, 10 plus years. So I whipped up a little app. It's just a web app. It's called destinyruns.com. And basically, if you go there, it lets you, and this is really for more of our listeners and viewers that aren't really a part of Tool to Play and have trouble finding groups, but all it does is lets you kind of go out there, find a fire team. You can set up your events. You can join other people's events, stuff like that. But I guess Tiff is telling me bandwidth limit has been exceeded. That probably means I'm getting hit by Reddit right now, which is a good thing. But I should probably go take care of that before things blow up. So I'm going to do that while we're doing the show.
Oh, my God. Maybe you should wait till the new releases for that.
Yeah, right. No, I will. Yeah. We'll be fine. But there's a screenshot of it. It's currently down. But yeah, destinyruns.com basically is just a way for people to get together, post what type of thing they're looking to do, whether it's a raid or anything like that. Set up a little registration so people can join that raid, set up a time, everyone meets, they play together. That's it. Really simple. Nothing really crazy about it, but it was just a little side thing I was working on last week when I was bored. So
And for you
Go
Too
check
Old to
that
Play people, this will be this is basically a prototype of what's rolled into the new Too Old to Play. Yes.
Yeah, the idea, it's almost like a concept of, we've been talking about the new Tool to Play and how we want things to go. And one of those things is what's a great way to connect people together. And having sort of an easy scheduling system thing like this was what the first thing we thought of. And instead of going ahead and building it on Tool to Play now, it's easy for me without the 40,000 plus members to deal with all that, to just spin it up really quick with one game, right? Because we don't have to deal with the thousands of games that we potentially can play. So it's just one game. It does one thing. And that's it. But the idea is that this will roll directly into Tool to Play version 4. So yeah, just go check it out. Even if you're part of Tool to Play, have fun, tweet it out there, help a brother out, that kind of thing.
Excellent.
Yep.
Well, it's good shit.
Good stuff.
All right. Well, on that, why don't we meander on over into what we're playing? And I think I could probably guess, but Joel Dude I Rock Albert, what have you been playing this week?
Well, I've played more Destiny than I've played pretty much any game in like the last 5 years. I don't know.
Nice.
Playing
good.
a lot of it's the best.
That's all I've played too. So.
It's the best mediocre game that I've ever played in my life. It's the best 6 out of 10 game I've ever touched. So there you go.
Nice. Well, what's your primary class? That's all I've been playing too. So I'm playing as a warlock.
Yeah, I'm Hunter mostly. I have a Hunter on the Xbox One and I have a Titan on the PS4. So
Nice.
I'm living in two worlds. Yep. But I mean, I don't know. How do you feel about it? This is like a rough, like a minute. Give me the 2-minute review.
I don't have the same problem other people have with it because I kind of knew what I was getting into with it.
Right.
And I always felt that the quests in MMOs were repetitive and it's the same thing. Either go get this, go get 10 of these, kill 10 of these, come back. I have no problem. There's some things that I feel like the grind for, let's say for mats, when you're trying to upgrade your purples, that's a little frustrating to keep flying around the moon and picking up helium or that part gets a little mundane. But then again, I think back to my World of Warcraft days and I remember fucking just, let me go get some ore. And you're just moving around looking for those fucking nugs and picking away at them. So I guess it's really no different, but I kind of knew that getting into it. I like the shooting mechanic. I like the MMO mechanic, and I fucking love the murder cave. The murder cave is where it's at.
The murder cave is pretty. We'll get to that stuff. But that's good stuff. Overall, I'm like semi-agreeant. There's a lot of things I hate. I don't think it's a 10 out of 10 game. But the RNGesus is absolutely horrendous. It's one of the worst in any MMO I've even ever played in my entire life. There are severe lackings in dynamics of end bosses. If you're coming from a guy who used to raid 7 hours, 10 hours a week easy, with raid bosses and dynamics that would take months to actually beat. And a lot of it just really boils down to shoot boss, he no move lots, you get hit, ouch, you die res, shoot boss, no more mechanics.
Yeah, now it's bullet sponge bosses, basically.
Bullet sponge, yeah, exactly.
It's just, let's take the toughest boss and increase him so that the encounter lasts longer, but it's the same mechanic. And that part I understand. There's not a lot of the, okay, at this point, the boss is going to do this, and then these ads are going to happen, and this environmental thing is going to happen. There's not a lot of that going on yet, and but there is a lot of content to come. And if anybody listens to feedback, it's Bungie. So
absolutely, and that's the thing that's why I say it's the greatest 6 out of 10 game ever. I know a lot of people have been giving it reviews that I believe are a little unwarranted, and I think they're doing it because it's not living up to the hype. Which is always a problem with a game that's this big, with that amount of budget, with this amount of sort of weight behind it. People expect it to be immediately flawless, and if it's not a 10 out of 10, it's almost like it can't be a 9 or an 8. It's got to immediately drop it to a 6. There's plenty of games we've seen, Call of Duty is one of them, where it just seems to get a 9 because it has the name, and there's not a lot to review, and it just does generally well.
There's games that come out completely broken, like Battlefield. It gets an 8. Like, how is that possible?
Battlefield will get an 8. Yeah. Servers won't work for 3 weeks, right? So it's this judgment call that a lot of open media has done. I don't think is warranted. I think there are massive problems with Destiny, but that's okay because the core game, the reason I play 6 hours a day, is phenomenal.
It's
gunplay is the best in any FPS I've seen in years. Having all the people, just the people in general, the friends and all that stuff, everyone that gets into it makes it absolutely 100,000,000% worth it. So it's sort of a weird review, but it's true. I mean, at its core, Destiny's a phenomenal shooter. So
I think the sign is this may have been what we're playing last week, but as soon as the show's over, it's when I'm playing.
Yeah,
exactly. Yeah. All right. Well, Jay, on that, why don't we hop on over into the new releases? First new release out this week is a multi-platform release, and it's Disney Infinity Marvel Superheroes. And this is out for the Xbox One, the PS4, the Wii U, the 360, the PS3, the PC, and iOS. This is the highly anticipated follow-up to the 2013 Disney Infinity. It features characters from the Marvel Universe as well as traditional Disney characters, but the campaign is obviously mainly focused on the Marvel characters. The campaign features 3 unique stories in the Marvel Universe. There's an Avengers story, a Spider-Man story, and a Guardians of the Galaxy story, which obviously you would be remiss not to take advantage of that tremendous behemoth and juggernaut that is Guardians of the Galaxy. It also features an enhanced toy box mode, as well as skill trees for individual character customization. So this time it's not that, well, I played Pirates of the Caribbean and I could use either, Jack Sparrow, or I could use this pirate, and they're all the same and it doesn't matter. No, now there's actually these skill trees and you build up characters differently. So they've at least probably done that right. It's been getting decent review scores in the 7s and 8s. Not phenomenal, but not shitty. We'll probably be picking this up at Christmas time, but right now I have no interest in playing, so we'll just wait till a convenient time to get it for the kids.
Yeah, this is a weird problem to have where it's like, now there's going to be games that are coming out where I have to decide, is it good enough for me to not want to play Destiny for another 2 days or not? I'm hoping that I grind out enough that I just get sick of it and I can play other games. But I feel like a lot of my commentary on these new releases is going to be like, yeah, that's cool. I'm going to probably just stick with Destiny for a while.
Yeah. Yeah, that's until the Halo.
Until MCC.
Until November.
Yeah. And then it's going to be a weird battle of like old Bungie and new Bungie. Like, I remember the old Bungie. I really love them. And new Bungie. So that's going to be interesting.
Yeah. Yeah. November is going to be a fun time. All right. Well, the other new release out this week is also a multi-platform release, and it's FIFA 15. This is out for the Xbox One, the PS4, the 360, the PS3, the Wii, the Vita, the 3DS, and the PC. This is the latest edition of EA's wildly popular FIFA series. EA has gone over the top with licensing this time, and it features 35 leagues, more than 600 teams, more than 16,000 players, and 41 stadiums, which doesn't seem to fit with everything else. Like there's all this shit, but only 41 stadiums, but that's okay. Gameplay's been fine-tuned for physics realism and just basic soccer realism, or football realism if you're that kind of person. And it's received a huge graphic overhaul on this gen consoles and on the PC. Like previous FIFA games, it features a killer soundtrack, this time with over 50 songs, which is insane. It covers the full spectrum, and people are actually looking to try to pick up this soundtrack, which is insane for a soccer game. There's no early review scores out for this yet, but the early buzz is that the game's pretty great. And, if you're a soccer fan or if you're Drake, this is probably on your list of things to pick up. Because I'm sure Drake's already got this shit. He's like, oh,
yeah, Drake, he lives in this game. I think Drake's in the game. I believe what they did is they captured his face for everyone in the audience and just reused it 6,000 times.
That would be
so Drake is always watching you.
That would be the mode to unlock, is the Drake crowd mode.
Drake crowd mode would be fantastic. 60,000 Drakes cheering.
The entire crowd. Yes, yes. That would be epic. But this is definitely not for me. I tried, as an EA Access guy, I tried it.
Oh, really?
Yeah. It was free for me to try, and I tried it. And I either don't understand soccer, which I played as a kid, and I'm pretty sure I understand the game. I watched it during the World Cup, so I understand how it works, but it's not the right speed of game for me. There's just too much like pass. Oh, okay, now they're pass. Okay, now I'm pass. Like, it's just not. There's not enough scoring going on. It's not.
Yeah,
it's not a football.
Pass and steal.
Yeah. So it wasn't for me.
we have two guys at the office. They live and die by this game. We have it for the Xbox 360 because that's all we have at the office. But it's like they play it for hours. Whenever there's like a break, that's what they go do. And I can't. I mean, I will sit there and watch them and try like to understand where the fun is coming from. Like, where's the fun? Are you having fun? You're both having fun right now? I don't even get it. Like, I can't wrap my
nothing's being accomplished. And
no one has.
Yeah,
no
you
one
watch
has
people
done
that like the game,
anything.
and no one's accomplished anything. It's 0-0. There's like 2 minutes left, and everybody's having fun, but I don't understand why.
No one knows
Nobody's
why.
accomplished a goal.
I'm like, you're not even drinking. If you were drunk, then maybe I would. Okay, you're drinking, so you pretend you're having fun. Gotcha. But no, sober as all hell, playing FIFA. Doesn't make sense to me.
Now you really have to either love soccer or be Drake to even find anything remotely interesting with this game.
Exactly.
But if any of you out there are FIFA or just soccer fans in general, give us a call 773-527-2961. Email us podcast@toolsplay.com and tell us why.
Why?
It sounds condescending, but just explain to us why. Well, like, what is it about playing a game for an hour that at that point you could have just started the game then and been 0-0?
Right.
And, like, why not start every soccer game with 2 minutes left at 0-0?
I was going to say, it's always final 3 minutes. It's a shootout at the end, and then that's it. You go away. It's a 15-minute game. It's fantastic.
Yeah. So just tell us what you like about soccer and explain it. And maybe we'll understand you. And we probably won't, but we'll give you a shot.
But we will. Yeah. We'll try.
All right. Well, Jay, on that, why don't we hop on over into gaming news, and we will transition over to our news desk, and Tiffany Electrify Nolan will be joining us once again, which was a popular change when we made it originally, and then she was like, oh, the show's too late. I'm so tired. I can't possibly do it. But now she is back. She's in full bore, and for those people that commented in for the episode after she did this, and then they were like, I can't wait for this next week, and it was only a 1 week flash in the pan. She's back, and she'll be doing the news. So, Tiff, what's going on? You want to read some news?
Hey, guys. Yeah. Good to be back. I was just, did that little teaser. What was that, like a couple months ago?
Yes.
I don't know. I think I was like 32 at the time. I was about 30
Yeah. But yeah, no, things are going well.
Excellent.
So yeah, let's jump right into the first story. Destiny has a caved shape loot exploit, and this comes from Joystick. Remember how Bungie wanted each piece of loot in Destiny to have a badass story attached to it so badly that it scrapped player-to-player trades? A new exploit documented by Force Strategy Gaming flies in the face of such hopes, as the Tricklet's Guardians mow down continuously spawning waves of enemies to amass a pile of loot for everyone in the vicinity. The exploit involves a cave found on Old Russia, which acolytes and thralls spawn and rush forward from in waves. In order for the trick to work, players need to stand back far enough to allow spawns to keep happening while ensuring that a lone enemy doesn't escape and go hide behind cover, therefore hindering future spawns. For a sense of what to expect, Force Strategy Gaming claims that 15 minutes worth of shooting rewarded them with stacks of green engrams, as well as a few blue and legendary tier pieces. The same area occasionally plays host to a public event, however, so bringing backup would be wise. So, guys, have you done this?
It's amazing.
It's awesome. I introduced Tiff to this over the weekend, and we went in there, and this is the amount of loot that should drop in this game over that amount of time, but you really have to just go in one place and condense all the loot that you missed into this one cave, and it is fun. When you spend a good hour, and then you finally go into that cave, and there's like 80 greens and 20 blues and 3 purples, and you're just like, oh, this is what I've been waiting for. It's awesome. And
yeah, they've nicknamed it the Murder Cave now.
Yeah, and it's really weird. So if you guys can see behind me, I'll even get rid of my
self. Okay, here, I'm gonna move myself over. There's my.
Well, I'll just drop myself. So yeah, I mean, literally, this is what it can look like. The purples, I almost think. So you're seeing a lot of purples on the screen. That's all ammo. And so it looks better than it really is. In reality, if you look at the screen, there's 1 blue and about 6 greens. The rest is ammo.
This was the best picture I could find at the resolution we needed.
Bigger.
But I have literally had I've got the red X, like you can't pick up anything more in this category thing, and I've had to do loot management in the cave before I could pick up more stuff.
Now, here's a tip. I will give you a tip for that loot management thing. You do not have to pick up any of the loot. And if you leave, the postmaster will automatically mail you any loot that is a blue or higher that you left on the table. So if you're worried about ever losing like the really awesome rare shit, you actually don't have to do that. Bungie will send you that loot. However, this always goes to the question, I guess the bigger part of the story, is this okay? And I personally, this is how you farm in MMOs. So to me, it's a reality that I'm 100% aware of.
Yeah.
Is it the problem is when you go the legitimate route, it takes significantly longer to not farm than it does to farm. And I think that might be, there are some tweaking there that Bungie needs to make PvP more viable as a way of getting gear, and to make normal PvE a viable way of getting gear as well. But I think it's people are calling this an exploit. And I think that's going way too far.
No, it's not. It's not you're glitching something
and
out.
You shot them. That is the two things that happened to get the gear. So I'm still all for it. I like to come, believe it or not, I like to come home some days. Don't even want to get people on my friends list. I don't even want to fucking get in a group. I just put headphones on. I get a beer and I just zone. I'm literally like not even conscious. I'm just fucking spraying for like 2 hours. And I sort of wake up and I'm like, there's shit everywhere. It's amazing. I like that type of game. Sometimes.
This is every MMO has, and it's not always an exploit. It's just the spot that everybody knows that you can do something. And this is at least for the group that I usually play with, which is Tiff and I and my good buddy Mr. GBMS. This is the third or fourth such exploit, quote unquote, that we've used, and this one actually produces a reasonable amount of loot. And this is what you would actually expect to get over that amount of time if you actually played the game, like averaging it with the time that you lost. Now, granted, if you just started the game and you were able to do this from the beginning, it would be an absurd amount of loot. But then again, the drop rates in this game are so low that you really need to do this and
that's the issue. I think if there is an issue, it's that this currently is one of the best ways to get gear outside of you just playing the game how Bungie has Endgame currently set up. Yeah. And to me, agreeably, that feels a little weird. And maybe it really comes down to the ability to get marks, because in a lot of games, marks, this is not a new thing. In Destiny, we have marks for different things like your Vanguard marks and your PvP Crucible marks. In a lot of games, that's like the way to grind gear. So when you don't get drops, you can always have this like sort of fallback of, okay, it's been a week, I get 2 pieces of gear. It's been a week, I get 2 pieces. And that may be a little slow comparatively to actually just going out and shooting in this cave for an hour and a half. Yeah, so maybe, there's some easily adjustable things here. It's just right now, this is like the greatest way to do it.
Yeah, and I'll tell you, for the semi-MMO-ish aspect of Destiny, which is, it's an MMO, but really wherever you're placed on your little fake server, it's a bunch of people, but it's not everybody. But this is the most community-type public thing I felt since the game started. Like, you show up here, and there's 4, 5, 6 other guys, and everybody's got the same goal. Everybody knows the unwritten rules. It's the first time I really felt that for people outside of my group, that we were doing something in particular. It's the first time where everybody in the community knows what's going on, and strangers are doing the same thing you are. And I that's kind of a nice aspect. Of course, it's the thing that Bungie probably hates, but at least it's bringing people together that are not in groups together, which is nice.
Yeah. So. People get together and they farm for like 2 hours. It's crazy.
Yep. And everybody knows the rules. Don't go in the cage. Stay out here. Do this. Do that. Don't go past this rock. And it's fun. So I enjoy the fuck out of it, and I can't wait to do that later.
Yeah, definitely. There's a cat on my screen, and he won't go away. I apologize.
Nice. All right. Next story.
Oculus announces new Crescent Bay headset, and this comes from Gamasutra. This past weekend at Oculus Connect in Hollywood, the Oculus VR announced a new prototype VR headset codenamed Crescent Bay, which CEO Brendan Iribe called as big a leap as from DK1 to DK2, its first 2 developer kits. The new headset has 360-degree tracking and integrated audio, as well as improved performance that allows better presence, says Iribe. It has higher resolution and a better refresh rate than even its recent DK2 headset. It's also much lighter than earlier prototypes. The company has also licensed technology from RealSpace 3D for improved 3D audio and Oculus moving forward. Audio is becoming a priority for the company, Iribe said. Thanks to an array of improvements, the headset, quote, allows for sustained presence. This allows you to achieve the impossible and believe you are in a world comfortably. He says, it's getting much closer to Consumer Rift. Thoughts? So when are we going to see a Consumer Rift out of this?
I just don't. I don't believe it exists anymore.
I know it's like they kickstart this. They charge these guys an arm and a leg for the first developer kit. Then those guys start getting the foothold, and they're like, "Oh, now we have developer kit too. You can rebuy one of these, and we'll give you pennies on the dollar for your last one." And now they have this Crescent Bay thing. And Grin, I'm excited for the end game of this whole thing. I can't wait.
It's going to be amazing. I think everyone feels that way, right? Like, it's going to be good.
I've just never seen anything like this where. And people have been fucked along the way. So not only did the Dev Kit 1 Kickstarter backers get fucked because then they came out with the second one, but really Palmer Luckey used this as look at all the interest in my shit. You know, somebody come buy me. Oh, Facebook, thanks for the $1 billion. Hey, what's up? So it was used as a marketing tool to get bought out and then put out a next iteration. And all these are only going to developers. So I really don't think that if you go talk to any gamer buddy that's not like a Joystick Kotaku Destructoid follower, doesn't go online and read all this stuff. If all they do is they pick up the latest games, they have no idea what the fuck's going on with Oculus Rift. They probably heard about it on the real news, the TV news at some point, said, oh, look at this company got bought by Facebook for $1 billion. They're doing, virtual reality. It'll be out sometime. But they don't understand that the back and forth that's going on between Oculus and developers and all this. So I think they just really need to hammer out a Gen 1 golden hardware master and get this the fuck out there. I don't know.
No, I absolutely agree. It's getting to that point where someone could come along and beat them to the market. Like it's to the now everyone knows that people are actually excited about this. Sony is already making a version of their own. Google has been in talks making. Yes, they made their joke version, but I would not be surprised if they're making one of their own. It's something that clearly consumers have said, this is really cool. I will buy one. And a lot of the people that have said this, I will buy one, are saying already, sight unseen, I haven't used one, but it's cool enough from what I've seen that I will pay the money. That's a fairly large statement. So it feels like sooner rather than later, they got to get this thing out there. And like, if I have to see one more YouTube video of some random dude putting on the headset going, whoa, this is amazing, I'm going to fucking throw up. I can't take it anymore. Show me the product. Or don't show me the product, but don't like hang it in front of me for the last 3 or 4 years of my life telling me it's going to be amazing. I just want to see it.
Yeah, draw a line in the sand. Say, this is we've locked in the hardware for version 1. Release that shit. And you know what? You want to come out a year later, 2 years later and release the next one? Hey, Apple does it every year. They put out a new iPhone, But draw the fucking line in the sand, lock in the hardware, get it out there, sell it to consumers, and then the next year sell them something else. And you can't keep doing this. It's all developers. You have 380 games out for the Rift now, and nobody has one. So explain that to me.
Exactly.
Yep. Hopefully this will be the last of, since this one has a name, Crescent Bay, instead of
I was going to say
Developer
it's not
Kit 1, Developer Kit 2.
Kit.
I'm hoping that's like the underlying message here, but who knows? Palmer Luckey will do whatever the fuck he wants.
He's got a shit ton of money now.
Yep. As soon as he's done with his Coke and his horse, he'll probably think about Oculus again.
Yeah, right.
Yep. All right, next story.
Harmonix announces closure of Rock Band Network, and this comes from Joystick. Despite a nearly half-decade-long run, developer Harmonix has made the decision to shutter the Rock Band Network, effective immediately. As a showcase for Rock Band Network authors to share... That makes no sense. I'll keep reading it, though. As a showcase for Rock Band Network authors to share their music with potential fans, the Rock Band Network eventually grew to include 2,121 downloadable songs. When you include the Rock Band Network alongside the series' official DLC tunes, the total Rock Band series tracklist comes to a staggering 4,221 songs. Despite its impressive utility, in the end, the Rock Band Network was laid low by mounting technical problems. Some of these problems were server-side here at Harmonix, while others were entirely outside of our control, reads the developer's official announcement. At this point, with Harmonix resources devoted to several other titles in development, we're no longer able to operate RBN with the kind of consistency that it deserves. So what are your thoughts on this? I actually was a Rock Band tester there back in the day.
It's a bummer, right?
See, as someone that played Rock Band at a more casual level, but I bought shitloads of music on Rock Band. Rock Band Network, until I met Tiff, I never knew anybody that gave any shit about Rock Band. It was like you could buy the real songs or you could buy this stupid indie shit by a bunch of fucking no-name bands that they self-created on this bullshit thing. So,
well, what's funny is they actually, for a while, because Harmonix could not keep up with all the songs, they were actually giving artists to some of these, kind of registered Rock Band Network authoring studios to actually get the songs into the game faster.
Yeah, I mean, I think the reason for that, though, is it's like for a lot of these shitty indie bands, like Derek's saying, it was the easy way for them to get as much publicity as possible. It didn't necessarily mean the content was very good. I think that's like my whole issue with the entire concept. I never once used it either. And I casually played Rock Band as well. So, I mean, I don't know. It always felt like I play a lot of these tunes because they're tunes I either remember from my childhood or tunes I like now, and I want to rock out to those tunes. Yeah, I don't care about some emo, shithead in the background trying to sell me his music. That's not my gig.
Yeah, I'm not doing Rock Band to explore new music. I don't. Even when you bought Rock Band and it came with like 40 songs and 30 of them were real songs, and the other 10 were like by Harmonix bands or by some bullshit indie. Those ones I never played. Fuck them. Yeah, I want to play the songs I know. I want to fucking sing "Living on a Prayer." I want to, I want to go nuts with the shit that I know, and I want to belt it out like I'm a fucking plastic guitar rock star, motherfucker. But this never appealed to me, and it really surprises me that they put any money or bandwidth behind this for this long. The shitty part is it afforded them the ability to say, hey, we have 4,221 songs on Rock Band.
Right.
When really they had 2,121 songs and another more songs from this shit fake thing than the real Rock Band.
Well, yeah, of course. Yeah. I mean, that doesn't surprise me either. And really, I mean, I love Harmonix. I like everything they've done. It's really more of like a just kind of hail to the chief, like, hey, it's over, everyone wave and say goodbye. This era of Rock Band in general, and certainly for Harmonix, this is kind of coming to an end. So I'm not really surprised to see some stuff like this. Really, the music sort of play music while you play video games sort of era is kind of going away. And Harmonix has done a really good job of kind of keeping up as much as they can with a lot of stuff, Dance Dance Revolution and stuff like that. But I'm not surprised. No, not shocked.
They innovated everything they did. Dance Central beat out
or Dance Central
DDR. I thought you meant beat out DDR.
Beat out DDR. Yeah. I did, but
I'm sure you did. Yes, and Rock Band. Granted, most of those guys were previous Guitar Hero guys, but it took it to the next level, and they kept stepping everything up, and it just seemed like this was either a cop out or. And I guess if you were like an indie band, it may have been a cool thing for you. You're like, well, they're never going to put our song in Rock Band, but maybe we could self-publish it, and I don't even know what these things cost. I don't know if they were the same as real songs or if they were like pennies on the dollar, but I never bought any of them. I didn't want to play them. I had no interest in being the guy that owned the most Rock Band music. No. So I was going to buy the songs I liked and only play those songs.
Agreed.
So, all right. Next story.
This week's What the Fuck story. Activision Blizzard hires Rudy Giuliani to take on Manuel Noriega, and this comes from Game Politics. Activision Blizzard announced this morning that it has every intention of filing a motion to dismiss what it categorizes as a frivolous lawsuit filed by former Panamanian dictator and convicted murderer Manuel Noriega. But the oddest twist to the story is who Activision Blizzard has hired to handle the case. Former New York City mayor, U.S. Attorney for New York, and Republican candidate for president, Rudy Giuliani. Giuliani, who is a partner at Brackwell and Giuliani, will serve as the co-counsel on the case. Noriega's lawsuit alleges that Activision Blizzard used his likeness in Call of Duty without his permission. Activision will argue that his depiction in Call of Duty is protected speech under the First Amendment. What's astonishing is that Manuel Noriega, a notorious dictator who is in prison for the heinous crimes he committed, is upset about being portrayed as a criminal and enemy of the state in the game Call of Duty. Quite simply, it's absurd, said Giuliani in a statement today as part of Activision Blizzard's press release. I'm not interested in giving handouts to a convicted murderer and drug smuggler like Manuel Noriega, who's demanding money from Activision and its popular Call of Duty franchise for simply exercising its right to free speech. Noriega's attack on the rights of Call of Duty comes as no surprise, considering he's a lawless tyrant who trampled over the rights of his own people. Wow. So what do you guys think of this story?
What? This is the most insane thing ever. Like, I could barely keep a straight face during this whole thing. And
it seems fake. Like, if you were to tell me this, like, it feels totally fake in every way.
I normally there's a what the fuck story. It's something that there's at least some ability to talk about, and then we go through it, and then Jay, questions me. But here, like, you read the title, and it could be out of the Onion. Like, Activision Blizzard hires Rudy Giuliani to take on Manuel Noriega. Like what the fuck? Like, everything about this is so not gaming and so not even realistic, but it's really happening. So yeah, Noriega. So they made a
likeness.
They
didn't name him outright, though, right? Like, he's not. You're not going to kill.
No, they were like, this was from. This could be either South American or Cuban or here, and he has that general look to him, and he's a dictator and he's a bad guy. But you know what?
Which doesn't that really go to show how shitty Noriega? Like, if you are watching this video game, you're like, that dude's just like me. He's a murderer and a piece of shit and a dictator. Wait, what the fuck?
They copied me. As soon as I get out of jail, I'm going to sue those guys.
You don't want to say that your likeness is that of a douchebag who murders, rapes, kills, pillages, and sells drugs. That's not, like, if you're going to make that call, you got to hope that the guy, like, hey, maybe I feel like they used my likeness as the president of the United States or as some amazing human being in our world somewhere. But dictator, no, you just leave that go. You don't actually do the lawsuit part. You're like, damn, they're totally calling me out. I'm just going to not say anything because this is really embarrassing.
And then getting Giuliani, and then you go the other side. So this is like if you had to go, like, shoot a guy. And instead of taking a pistol, you take, like, a nuke.
Yeah.
It's like talking about, you go the most over the top, like, attorney you can get. He's more than an attorney. He's mayor of New York.
He's the Terminator. Is what he is.
Yeah, this is insane. I don't even know. It's so I don't even know.
No, you can't comment on it. It's one of those things where it's a story, you read it, you call bullshit immediately. I'm like 80% sure this is real. I don't even know I'm going to go that far. I feel like in 2 weeks, someone's going to, like, post something and say, no.
Someone hacked game politics.
Yeah, like, this is bullshit. But I mean, the fact that it's real only makes me want to, like, watch this story unfold because I feel like no matter what, it's going to be amazing. It really can't, at this point, it can't not be amazing. It has
exactly.
Yeah. So, I think we already know, but Derek, what does this story have you saying?
Jay, this story has me saying, what the fuck? And on that, why don't we hop on over to the mailbag and voicemails? Altius asks, what are your thoughts on the complete split of opinion on Destiny? Were people expecting something different, or did they just not understand what to expect? That's the best way to put this question.
That is a pretty good way to put it. I think it's a mix of both. Again, I think the entire split, especially with media, because I feel like if you go and you read any reviews right now, and the majority of them, I would even say way more reviews are negative than are positive. They have an underlying thread of really, to me, not understanding what the game is really about. And this is just me. I mean, it's always opinion when it comes to review. But for me, the core gameplay is what actually matters. Now, when I purchased Halo, did not play story, didn't care about it. It was never my thing. I played Halo because I loved the gameplay of Halo.
Yep.
I think people really tend to overlook that about Destiny, that it is, in my opinion, one of the best shooters that I've ever played outside of Halo 2. That's pretty fucking good. I played Halo 2 for almost 5 years. One game, all we did every day in, day out, played 6 maps, and that was it. Yep. So if you distill it down to just that, it's a wonderful game. Now, on top of that, there's all this other cool shit. But the problem is people don't focus on that gameplay. In fact, every review you read, you'll always see a 1-paragraph snippet that says, and we must say, the gameplay is absolutely phenomenal, and the shooting is absolutely phenomenal. You will almost always read that. Yep. But then it will go on to say about all the other problems.
The campaign was so short, I got to 20 in 8 hours. Yeah.
Right.
And because people just don't understand how, I think shooter guys that are reviewing these games don't understand how MMOs work. And they don't understand the repetitive grind, repeat, weekly grind and repeat. I didn't get it this week. Maybe next week will be my week. And do that for 3 years and then see if you got what you wanted. Yes, yeah.
And then on the flip side, the MMO guys, rightfully so, they're looking for their deep threaded MMO, like punishing to the point of divorce, right? Like that's the key to a successful MMO. Really dynamic boss battles that take 6 months to kill. This is also not inside of Destiny. It is not inside this game. So it's this weird, Destiny really did try to be a lot of things. What it does very well is at its core of the game. It does really well at being a shooter. Does it do really amazing at being an MMO? No, but I think that's why they tried so hard to say that they weren't an MMO. Now, clearly it has almost every aspect of what an MMO is, but I think they were afraid to commit to that name, to that genre, because it is not that deep. It really isn't.
No, until they dial it, it's not. Yeah.
Right. And so it very much so it can be, but it's going to take some time, sadly. So I don't know. I mean, there's a lot of people that miss it, but you also can't be mad at people for hating it. If they don't like it, they don't fucking like it. You don't want them in the game either. I don't want them in the game. I just know, like I said at the top of the show, I am playing one of the best 6 out of 10 games that I've played in the last decade, if not the best 6 out of 10 game ever.
And it's all you want to play.
And it's all I want to play. I stopped playing WildStar. I dropped all my MMO subs. I'm just playing Destiny. This has not happened in the last decade of my gaming career. So they're doing something really good. Yeah. I don't know what it is, but when I go to work, I think about when I get to come home and play Destiny. And when I sleep at night, I think about all the amazing things I could have been doing. So something's good. Something is good.
I guess the moral of the story is people just didn't understand what they were expecting. Sure. Or they had too high an opinion.
Or they just don't like the game. That's fine too.
Yep.
Totally fine.
All right. And Blue Steel asks, D-Smooth, as someone who has EA Access and does the 2-for-1 downloads, is EA Access also a 2-for-1er? Can you download FIFA on 2 Xbox Ones? Now, this question came back before FIFA came out, obviously. But, yeah, this is exactly how it works. We have one EA Access subscription on the non-home console. And that's the console Tiff traditionally plays on, so it's under her. She can play and download all the EA Access games. And when I load up EA Access on the home console, which is one I traditionally play on, it shows me as a subscriber, even though I've never signed up for EA Access. I've never paid for it. I look like a subscriber and we can download the same games. I played Madden. I played FIFA. That's how I learned that it's a shitty game for me, but not for Drake. So it does work on both. So EA Access, especially if you're a multi-console person, this is another reason not to let it stop you. Forget it if you're taking the discount. Forget if you're getting your 5 days early pre-play of these games. It's just win-win-win. It's so worth the money. Just do it. Do it. Do it.
I'll say I actually did it, and I haven't downloaded one game, but I'm still not mad. Yeah. I'm really not mad. I will get to playing those games, or I won't.
Well, see, you bought it right when Destiny. See, I made sure I bought it 2 weeks before Destiny came out. So I could be like, I'm going to check this out and make sure this is good. And it is good.
I still think it's good. Like, again, I'm not mad. I'm playing a game that I really love, but I'm not really losing anything yet either. Like, the minute I play one game, I've really paid for it. Like, the minute I play one game for like 2-3 days, that's more than I've played some games that I've purchased for $60. So it's okay. Yeah. It's that easy. So, yeah.
And, like, for example, did you ever pick up Plants vs. Zombies Garden Warfare?
Yeah, we played it together.
Oh my God, we did play that together. I was going to
ton.
say you could get that for free, but yeah, no,
Yeah,
you can't.
I
Yeah,
got
we
that.
did play that together. Yeah. Yeah, there's tons of stuff on there.
Yeah, absolutely. Good question though.
All right. Yeah, that is a good question, Blue. Hopefully that clears us up, and hopefully you're becoming a multi Xbox One family as well. So if you have any feedback or questions, give us a call, 773-527-2961. Email us at podcast@tooltoplay.com. You can also comment in this episode's thread on the Tool to Play homepage. And sponsors. Remember, by supporting our sponsors, you help to support Still Got Game. And our shitty non-paying sponsor this week is GoDaddy. Starting at less than $5 a month, web hosting from GoDaddy.com includes 99% uptime, 24/7 support, and free hosting in the GoDaddy hosting connection. The place to quickly install over 50 applications like WordPress, Joomla, Drupal, Ear, OS, Commerce, and more. Go to toolplay.com/GoDaddy for great deals on new .com registrations and renewals, starting at just $1.99. Some restrictions apply. See site for details. Get your piece of the internet at GoDaddy.com. And like we said the last episode, GoDaddy doesn't pay us shit. It's a pay per purchase arrangement we have with them, and none of you have felt the need to purchase from GoDaddy. So if any of you want to sponsor us and you have something that you think people will like, or you just want to pay us outright and we'll talk about you each show, give us a call, 773-527-2961. Email us, podcast@tooltoplay.com. You tell us what you want to sell. We'll sell it. You pay us. Boom. Done. Twitter us up. You can find everything Tool to Play related at twitter.com/Tool to Play. Everything podcast related at twitter.com/still_got_game. I, king of the fucking internet, God of everything that's fucking holy, at twitter.com/Derek Nolan.
You can find me at twitter.com/dudeIrock.
Facebook the fuck out of us. Facebook.com/Tool to Play. Facebook.com/Derek Nolan.
Facebook.com/dudeIrock.
We also have this little thing called the YouTube channel, youtube.com/Tool to Play. Go there, subscribe to our channel. You'll be notified each and every time that Tool to Play puts out some video content, including episodes of Still Got Game or whatever other video content we decide to push out to our YouTube channel. So it takes you no effort. Go there. You'll be notified both via your emails and everything else. Look, Tool to Play got new stuff on YouTube. I'll go check that out. So it takes you no time. Doesn't cost you a thing. Do it up. Also, we have the Tool to Play app, free on the iTunes store, and the communist whatever bullshit Android store that's virus ridden and everything else that came out this week, or there's malware and all this other shit. But on iTunes, it's safe and secure. It's like wearing a condom and then putting another condom over that, and then maybe 10 or 12 more condoms and banging a crack whore.
Unless you have nude photos and you're a celebrity, then you're kind of fucked.
Yeah, the fappening is still happening.
The fappening happens.
Yes. But that app's free, and you'll be notified of all of our content on the Tool to Play homepage, as well as all of Tool to Play's video content. You'll get a little push notification. And this app is a work in progress. This is our initial revision. It will improve as the site progresses. The app, too, will progress into the future. And we can't recommend downloading enough because it's absolutely fucking free. Also, please rate and review this podcast in iTunes. Give us 5 stars, write us a little review. It takes you no time. Just go there, click, 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 click. Click the 5 stars. It says, hey, do you want to write a review to go with your 5-star choice? And you know what? You don't have to, but if you did, it would be really special for us. And we'll blow you a kiss. Yeah, just like that. That's right, ladies. Yeah. Jay, why don't you blow the ladies a kiss? Yes, that's how he's not the best kisser, from what I've heard. He's you should see him at parties. It's cool. All right. Also, we have our Tool to Play channel on Twitch, twitch.tv/Tool to Play. You can either follow us there, or down here, there's a little subscribe button. And you know what that does? That actually gives something back to us. Unlike Go Fucking Daddy, the shittiest sponsor in the world, that button helps us out. And if you subscribe, in the future, we're going to be rolling out tons of subscriber-only features just for you. And these are going to be value adds. They're going to be gaming nights. They're going to be free code giveaways for certain things. And those are going to be subscriber only. Now, granted, we still love people following us, but the subscriber is key. So, you know what? You got a couple extra bucks. You don't mind throwing us. You enjoy the show. That's a way that you can, instantly pick to help us out. So go down there, click the subscribe button, and please help us out. And I remind you all, join us each and every week, Monday nights, 9 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Pacific, on twitch.tv/Tool youtube.com/tool to play. And that's when we're live here. We have the chat. We have all kinds of people enjoying the show. There's so much comments. I'm looking down at it right now. I can't even figure out what the fuck's going on. There's people like, oh, I love the show. You guys are gods. I'm answering questions, asking, boom. Sometimes we bring it in the show. Sometimes some other one person in chat just answers it. And it's more of a community driven atmosphere versus you either watching our YouTube, which we love, or you listen to the podcast, which the majority of you still do, but we love you guys too. That's why you guys get the finest version of the podcast, which is ended up nice. It sounds like nobody fucked up at all. All the outtakes are at the end, but you want to see those outtakes in real time, see how they played out, see who lost their shit, who pissed their pants, who one time Jay threw up on camera. You didn't even know that in the audio version. Like I cut it out. He was just like, oh, totally pro. But I was like, that was like the sound he makes when he kisses. So he's giving me the weirdest look right now, but you can't see that, audio people. So definitely join us each and every Monday night, 9 p.m. Eastern, 9 p.m. Eastern. My God, what the fuck time's our show at? Yeah, we've changed this so many times now, but 9 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Pacific, twitch.tv/tool to play. And on that, Jay, under these hot lights, I'm dying here. Why don't we wrap this episode up? I am Derek D. Smooth Nolan.
And I'm Joel, Dude I Rock Albert.
To the Murder Cave, Batman.